The Green Knight.
The Green Knight. Boy. So you got this guy by the name of Gawain. He's got a girlfriend named Isu. His mom just happens to be a witch. He has to go to this meeting with the king and the Knights of the Round Table. And the king has been neglecting Gawain for all these years, but now he wants to make amends. You think to yourself, why the fuck should he care about Gawain? We're going to find out Gawain's mom is actually the king's sister, but he'll be delegated into royalty. All of a sudden, this Green Knight comes barging in, and he gives the queen a message. And he wants to joust anybody in a contest. If that person can land a nick on him in 1 year's time, he's waiting for that person to come back and nick him in the same way that he did him. It's a lot of magic and spirits involved. But when nobody wanted to step up to see the challenge, Gawain stepped up. He gets the king's sword, but the knight puts his axe down. He's allowing them to take a shot. So Gawain ends up chopping his head clean off. This motherfucker got back up, put his head back on, got back on his horse and dipped off. He said, 1 year's time, son, and started laughing at him. The whole year went by, he wasn't really doing shit, just chilling with his girl, Izo. He's treated like a jerk, gets beats up while he's in the bar. He talks to the king, and the king convinces him to go meet the Green Knight. He's about to take off on his journey. He gets on his horse and gets to traveling. He's supposed to go to this spot called the Green Chapel, wherever the fuck that is. On his way there, he meets this guy. He says him and his people had a fight, a war. He was the only one to survive. And as they're walking, there's just stacks of bodies on bodies on bodies. It was like, shit was ridiculous. But he gives Gawain directions on the easiest way to get to the Green Chapel. It was basically a setup for him, and two other guys came in and jumped him. They tied him up, took his horse, and took his green axe. Yeah, the green axe that the Green Knight left behind. As he's tied up by the tree, you see this vision of him being spun around, and he's just dead, and then he's spun around, he's back alive again. I mean, he looked like Skull and Crossbones. It was weird. So he gets to a spot in the ground and unties himself. Before the scavengers left, he told them the Green Chapel is not a place, it's actually an entire area. How's he supposed to know if he found the Green Knight? He goes on his journey, he comes to this house. Keep in mind, when it gets dark, everything looks green. He meets this lady in the house, and she wants him to do him a favor. She wants him to go to the back part of the lake and find her head. And he's like, your head's on your shoulders. The fuck you talking about? Apparently, she's like some type of entity or spirit or something like that. So he goes underwater, the water turns red all of a sudden, and he finds her skeleton head. When he comes back up, she's gone. When he gets to her room, the skeleton head turns to her head. I'm like, oh shit. He ends up putting it back on the bed. Next day, he goes traveling again. He hides out in his cave, and this fox keeps following him. Fox has been following him from the get-go, and he's just like, fuck it, you just gonna roll me. Then he gets to this terrain area, and all of a sudden he sees this big-ass man. He goes up to the top of the hill, and then he sees a bunch of big-ass men. What the fuck just turned into Attack on Titans? One of them was about to eat him, and all of a sudden the fox started howling at him like a wolf. Weird. Then they all started marching towards somewhere. He continues on his journey. He's been walking for a minute. It's actually supposed to take him a day and a half to get there. And by the way, Valvin's got to get there before next Christmas. So he gets to this door, he crashes out, passes out, and this married couple save him. They get him food, they get him prepared, and they say, look, the Green Chapel's close by. The lady in the house gives him a green sash to wear around his stomach. She says, as long as you have it on, nobody can hurt you or protect you. When she gives it to him, she basically ends up giving him the business. And then she says, you're not a knight. What the fuck that's supposed to mean? And then there's this blind lady that's in the house, too. I'm not even sure what her deal is. But he gets tired of being fattening up. He's like, look, I gotta continue my mission. The other guy catches up to him, wants him to stay. Then he kisses Gawain. I'm like, what the fuck? Goddamn swingers. Nevertheless, Gawain continues on. As he's walking, he finds this golden area with a boat. And the fox tries to stop him because he knows he's getting close. And all of a sudden, the fox starts talking to him. What? The fox tries to tell him to turn around. He's like, you don't want to go this way. Gawain's like, that's the whole point of me even being out here is to fight up the Green Knight. So the fox dips out, Gawain gets on the boat, and they get to officially the Green Chapel. There's nothing but a bunch of bushes, some thorns, and it leads up to a hallway. We see the Green Knight just sitting on his throne. I guess he got there the day before Christmas, so he waits for like a whole day just sitting there until the Green Knight finally wakes up. Oh yeah, I almost forgot he got the green axe back. I'm thinking to myself, how the fuck did he get the axe back? When the scavengers tied him up, they took the horse and the axe. Now apparently one of the scavengers killed the girl that was in the other house when he was looking for the head underwater. But I don't get why they would have just left the axe, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, he puts the axe down to the Green Knight's feet, and he's ready to have the same treatment that he dealt to the Green Knight a year ago. But then he chickens out and runs away. But he can't go through with it. So he goes back home, finds himself a horse. He gets there, he gives Issa the business. The king knights him as a knight. Right after that, he dies, and his queen died too. Gawain becomes king. Him and Issa have a baby. But then he takes the baby, and he's already got a queen picked out. It turns out to be the girl that got her head cut off in the fucking marsh. I'm like, what? Issa's left as an outcast, but his rule as a king sucks. Niggas get killed. Horse is about to come and attack the people. He's just sitting on his throne. The queen and the daughter left. Even his mom left him. He's ready to have his fate being sealed, done deal. We see him take off the green sash, and then his head completely falls off. Then we find out all that was him looking towards the future. And we realize he never left the Green Knight. So he takes off the green sash for real this time, and the Green Knight tells him, yeah, you're a brave warrior. You finally understand now. He's ready to get his head chopped off, and that's the end of the movie. So what I learned from all this? That we knew he was going to be a terrible king? He allowed himself to get his head chopped off? We're supposed to believe he'll come back even if the Green Knight did? What is up with the Green Chapel Force? It's a lot of mystery and things that delve into when we talk about this force. Trust me, I ain't even got to the tip of the iceberg when it comes to that shit. I'll put it to you like this. If you like Roman times, kings, knights, magic, and all other types of random-ass experiences, then check this goddamn movie out. The Green Knight. There you go. Got my green on, bitch. Please check this movie out, and you can help me make sense of all this shit. Real spit.